What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Paddy Pimblett sends a warning to UFC referee for Chandler cheating. Ahead of Paddy Pimblett's fight with Michael Chandler this weekend, the baddie hopes whoever is refereeing his fight keeps a close eye on Michael Chandler. In the past, Chandler's been criticized for everything from striking opponents in the back of the head to fish hooking. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. During his media day scrum on Wednesday, Paddy the Baddie took aim at the former Bellator champ, who he called, quote, a dirty once he steps into the octagon.
Yeah, he's the nicest man in the world outside the cage, and when he gets in, he's a dirty isn't he? Oh, yeah. I always say if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So I understand what he's trying to do. He wants to win, and that's the main thing when it comes to this game. But yeah, I probably will mention to the ref in the back, like, if he's going to grab me gloves and when I say if he tries to poke me in the eye and stuff like that. Because that one against Charles, lad, when he punched him in the back of the head about 9 times or something, and the ref, I hope that's not my referee. While Chandler's heading into this weekend's card in the midst of a 2-fight losing skid that's dropped his UFC record to just 2-5, Chandler isn't worried about his record falling to 2-6. During his own media day appearance on Wednesday, he was asked what a loss may mean for him at this stage of his career.
No, haven't thought about losing. So in this sport, I think it's you think about winning and then you see what the result is. And then if you lose, you recalibrate. If you win, you still recalibrate. So, it's one of those deals where I haven't really thought about that. I've been a competitor since I was 14 years old, and I've always just focused on doing the best that I possibly can to be as prepared as I can, and so be it.
Although Chandler's proven that he has plenty of power, the baddie isn't worried about being slept on Saturday night. We'll see who's got more power. I think there's more of a chance of me knocking him out than him knocking me out. With the chance to move one step closer to title contention this weekend, the stakes couldn't be higher for either fighter. Conor McGregor interested in fighting winner of Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett? Earlier today, Conor McGregor made a very surprising post on social media. McGregor said, "I'm interested in a Chandler-Pimblett fight this weekend with the following training clip."
I'm not interested in this one. Yeah, I know, but I'm just here. Yeah, I'm really interested.
This is very surprising considering just a couple of weeks ago, he talked about running for president of Ireland and was not interested in fighting in the octagon anytime soon. Do you think Conor McGregor is serious about coming back, or is this all for attention? Let us know down in the comment section. Justin Gaethje calls out Islam Makhachev for International Fight Week. During a recent interview with the Schmo, Justin Gaethje called out Islam Makhachev to fight in June. During the interview, he reacted to Islam wanting to move up to welterweight to fight the winner of Bilal versus JDM, and then called him out for International Fight Week. Before we play the clip, make sure to check out the Schmo and his amazing interviews on YouTube. You won't be disappointed with his work. Here's what Justin Gaethje had to say.
Islam Makhachev goes up, or do you think Islam Makhachev is going to be defending that belt?
Yeah, I hope that's not the case. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight in June. I don't know. I think Makhachev said he wants to fight in June. I'm hoping that I get that call. It's been a crazy ride. I'm not at the beginning of the journey anymore. It's towards the end. I'm 4-1 in my last 5 fights. We'll see what they do. I'm hoping it's Makhachev.
As we mentioned in our previous videos, Makhachev is interested in fighting Gaethje since he's a fresh matchup. But who would you guys like to see Islam Makhachev fight next? Henry Cejudo gets trolled over stolen belt. During a recent episode of the Pound for Pound show, Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo reacted to a tweet that showed a fake version of Henry's stolen belt being sold on eBay for $10,000 by a seller named DJ Mouse. If you didn't know, the belt that was stolen was from when Henry beat Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson, so that's why the troll account put the seller's name as DJ Mouse. Regardless, Henry and Kamaru poked fun at the post. Here's what they had to say.
Hey Henry, is this the belt that was stolen?
Nah, is it?
Henry Cejudo original UFC flyweight belt by DJ Mao or whatever that is.
Yeah, no, they're with the
seller DJ Mouse. Oh my god. What?
Yeah, no, they're with this.
But is that belt? Is it the old style belt?
Yeah, it's
right
the
there?
old school belt. It's the old school belt. So that's the one that I beat. That's one that I beat from Demetrius Johnson to.
By DJ Mao.
Dana White is requesting to change Ali Act for TKO boxing. When Dana White and Turki Al Sheikh announced their new joint boxing endeavor, Many members of the combat sports community wondered how the promotion would get around the Ali Act, given that although MMA promotions like the UFC don't fall under the Ali Act, boxing promotions do. According to Eric McGracken, an attorney who's been integral to the combat sports community over the years, the UFC and TKO are not going to try to get around the Ali Act, they're going to try to change it. According to a quote from Michael Mazzulli, the president of the Association of Boxing Commissions and Competitive Sports, their efforts have already begun. Presently, the UFC TKO is requesting an amendment change to the Muhammad Ali Act. The board of directors is working with them to make sure the ABC is still part of the federal law. In addition to a post about this on his website, combatsportslaw.com, McGracken also posted about the situation on social media, calling for transparency while writing, "If the ABC Board of Directors has the proposed Ali Act amendment language that TKO is asking for, they should make that public. This is not something that regulators should be discussing with the promoter behind closed doors." His post drew support from Luke Thomas, who made a post of his own directed at the ABC. "Hi ABC Boxing, can you help explain to the public the actual constituency you serve, why you're working with a promoter to help gut legislation designed specifically to protect boxers?" As John Nash added, there may be a potential breach to the ABC's Code of Ethics. This is a good question. As he noted, the ABC Code of Ethics states, "Avoid the appearance of impropriety. Working with the promotion on amending an act that was designed to protect boxers from being exploited by promoters sure gives the appearance of impropriety." As Nash wrote in a follow-up, TKO isn't trying to make a small change to the Ali Act, as some outlets have reported. Interesting framing of it being only a small tweak when it's been known that this was the essential change TKO would need in order to bring the UFC model to boxing. With the new promotion looking to hold its first ever event later this year, only time will tell how things play out. UFC updates. Heading into this weekend's Volkanovski-Lopez pay-per-view card, let's take a look at some UFC fight updates that might have flown under your radar, including this fight between Oben Elliott and Ramiz Brahimaj, added to the UFC Vegas 107 card at the end of May. The fight will see Elliott look to build on a 3-fight win streak inside of the octagon following a Contender Series win in 2023. On the flip side, Brahimaj will be looking to build on a first-round win over Mickey Gall. Looking ahead to the summer, a fight between Lauren Murphy and Eduarda Moura has reportedly been added to the July 12th card. This is going to be Murphy's first fight since 2023 when she dropped a decision to Jessica Andrade. On the flip side, Moura will be looking to make it 2 in a row after a decision over Veronica Hardy back in November. Shifting gears, looking at some potential fights, Petr Yan has called out Umar Nurmagomedov for a fight in an Instagram post. Per Instagram's built-in translator, Yan wants the two to throw down in Azerbaijan or in Abu Dhabi. "Let's do it at Baku or Abu Dhabi 5 rounds. Let's do it for my desire to fight for the belt. At the moment, the top 5, the top 10, almost everyone is occupied, and there's no desire to wait for half a year. Umar, I hope you fixed your scratches. Let's go." Yan then followed it up with a post on his story, doubling down on his call out for a fight in Azerbaijan or Abu Dhabi, writing, "Let's make it 5 rounds of sparks." Umar Nurmagomedov reacted to Petr Yan's call out on his Instagram story, saying, "Pleasantly surprised by the challenge, forward Abu Dhabi October." Umar then revealed that he's still recovering from his hand injury. "I'll only be able to fight in October. Fighting with an injured hand is stupid. I'll come back when I'm 100% healthy." Petr Yan reacted to Umar's comments and is asking for another opponent until he gets the Umar fight in October. "Umar is not ready. I hope there will be a worthy challenge for June, Baku, or July, Abu Dhabi," and then followed it up with, "Who's ready? Who do you want to see Petr Yan fight next? Let us know down in the comment section below." Last but not least, Magomed Ankalaev seems to be targeting August for a rematch with Alex Pereira. In a pair of posts this week, he wrote, "Who likes deep dish pizza? And 1 month ago, I broke a lot of hearts in August. Big Ank here to dunk Chicago Bull style." So far, no response from Pereira, but given how bad he wants this rematch, it sounds like it might be only a matter of time before the fight gets confirmed. Michael Chandler squashes beef with UFC fighter. Ahead of his fight with Paddy the Baddy this weekend, Michael Chandler squashed his beef with another fighter on the roster, and it's not Dustin Poirier. During the lead-up to Chandler's fights with both of the Pitbull brothers, the trash talk got heated, and because of it, there's been plenty of bad blood on both sides. While Patricio Pitbull made it clear after he signed with the UFC that he and Chandler would not be squashing their beef, the two sides have since mended fences leading up to this weekend's UFC 314 card, which they'll both be on. This week, while talking to members of the press, Pitbull revealed that Chandler approached him to squash their beef, and now it's all water under the bridge. "He apologized to me. He said some harsh words and was going through a rough moment in his life and said some harsh words after fighting me and my brother, so I accepted it. He had the honor to come and say that, so I accepted it." On the flip side, Chandler was complimentary of Pitbull as a competitor, saying that he wishes the former Bellator champ the best. "I wish him the best. We just saw each other in the lobby, shook hands a little bit, tried to squash the beef a little bit, and I have some history, but man, we'll never fight again. I wish him the best, and we'll watch on fight night and see how it turns out. Pitbull will have a chance to kickstart his run at UFC Gold this weekend when he collides with Yair Rodriguez. From the sounds of things, although Chandler and Pimblett will be the next fight up, Iron Mike is going to keep a close eye on how things play out for his former rival at 145. Dana White removes fighters from the UFC. Ahead of this weekend's UFC 314 card, Seung Woo Choi, Diana Belbita, and Istela Nunes have all reportedly been removed from the UFC's roster, according to Guillem Cruz. Choi was fresh off a loss to Kevin Vallejos, after which Vallejos called on the UFC to give Choi another chance inside the octagon, given that his mother just passed away right before their fight. Rather than pulling out, Choi fought anyway. However, it sounds like Vallejos' pleas fell on deaf ears. In the case of Belbita, the Warrior Princess is fresh off a loss to Dayan Barboza earlier this month, which marked her third straight loss. After her loss, Belbita posted that it was time to start a new chapter, writing, "It was fun fighting at the highest level. I never even dared to dream that I would get there, but I ended up spending my last 6 years fighting for the best promotion in the world. It was a fun journey and I loved it. Now it's time for me to start a new chapter. Thank you UFC, Mick Maynard, and Dana White." Last but not least, in the case of Istela Nunes, the former one championship fighter parts ways with the UFC after putting together an 0-5 record that saw her go winless inside the octagon. Following a loss to Loma Lookboonmee this past weekend, Nunes has been handed her walking papers. Jim Miller not happy with the UFC for Apex events. At one point in time, hosting fights at the Apex was the only way the UFC could hold events. Despite the fact that much of the world has returned to normal now, with sporting events taking place all around the globe, the UFC has continued to host events at the Apex. Ahead of his fight with Chase Hooper this weekend, Jim Miller has made it clear that he's not a fan, and it's time for the UFC to retire the Apex. The Apex is great, it served a purpose. We got to fight, we got to make money, and support our families. I still got to fight. But like, fighting in a room this big, it's not how the sport's supposed to go down. When I emailed Sean before this fight to get this one, to ask for it, I was like, I got a couple left, 5 maximum, and I'd like them all to be in front of big crowds. Based on comments from the MMA community and other fighters on the roster, Jim Miller isn't the only one who wants to see the UFC do away with the Apex. However, former middleweight Derek Brunson joked that Miller's criticism might land him in hot water. In a response that's since been deleted, Brunson joked that Miller would be removed from the UFC's roster for his comments. With just a handful of fights left in him, it'll be interesting to see how things play out this weekend when the longtime veteran shares the octagon with Chase Hooper, who represents the new era of fighters looking to make a name for themselves. Concerns rise for Israel Adesanya's UFC future. And before we continue, we have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day. After his third straight loss earlier this year, Israel Adesanya said on the ESPN post-fight show that he was going to take some time to think about what's next for him. Since then, there's been little news on when Adesanya may return to action, but according to his longtime coach, Eugene Berriman, there's no guarantee that he actually returns to the octagon. During an interview with Combat TV, Berriman said that Izzy is off being Izzy, and he has no idea what's next. Izzy is being Izzy, but I don't know what he's doing next. But that's a good place to be. Yeah, he's just doing him. I don't know. It's just, yeah, if he was going to fight again, then he's going to fight again. If he's not, then we've been blessed. I've been blessed. The world's been blessed. The team's been blessed. But yeah, it's completely up to him. Given that Berriman gave no inside info on Adesanya's future, fans have started to worry whether they'll have a chance to see the last stylebender back in the octagon again. After his latest loss, Adesanya is ranked 4th at 185, just behind Khamzat Chimaev, who's expected to get the next title shot, and just ahead of Robert Whittaker, who's made it clear that any chances of the two sharing the octagon again are pretty much non-existent.